It's a real deal now.
OHGI, big fish. We the ones that you wanna get with. Took a couple L's, rung a couple bells. Real ones, too legit for point talent. Straight shooters, all troopers. Me and the guys ain't never been losers. See a nice little ting, we pursue her. See a nice little, yeah.
Ew, big fish-ish, y'all know what it is. And we got some big fish biz talk for y'all today. And we're gonna focus on higher education. All right, now y'all know I like to call out higher education for a lot of these absurd prices without necessarily giving us the return on our investment when a lot of us go into all this debt with all these student loans. Fortunately, played football, was able to earn a scholarship, but a lot of my friends owed hundreds of thousands of dollars, so that's something that I'm always focusing on. And when it comes to businesses, something that a lot of people are interested in, first and foremost, I went to the Mason School of Business at the College of William & Mary. Excellent business program. I owe them a lot and still have an amazing relationship with them. Now, when it comes to business school and learning business lessons that are going to be applicable to the real world, I'm thinking back and thinking where I got my greatest business lessons in business schools and what molded me to put myself in a position to have an opportunity to be as successful as possible in my new sport, which is business. So as I think back to my entrepreneurial journey, when it started, where it is now, and also think back even from a corporate business structure, the lessons that I learned there, what prepared me the most to be successful in business? It was sports. Hands down, it was sports. Sports is what brought out my competitive spirit, which developed my competitive spirit, which sharpened my competitive tools and skills. And it's not even close. And that's no shot at, business schools, whether it's undergrad or grad, or any other business program. Sports is a business program. There's a reason why a lot of these top companies want to hire people that played sports at a high level. It's competitive. People seek recognition. You have to be disciplined in order to be successful. There's a lot of things that go into being successful in sports that are going to directly apply to being successful in business. And the more I think about it, I learn how many different gems that I got from sports that I'm applying right now in business. And one of them is stop worrying, move on to the next play. Next play, that next play mentality, especially as a defensive back, you get beat on a particular play, and any position I should say, but especially as a defensive back, especially when I was playing cornerback. You have to have a next play mentality, not only for the good plays that you have, but for the bad plays as well. All right, for the plays that you may have got beat on a touchdown, may have got a penalty that put your team in a bad position, that you have to move on to the next play. And this is something that I struggled with at times because, sometimes when you're a competitive, you want everything to go perfect. You prepared a certain way and you expect for things to go that way because you put in the work initially. Now, it doesn't always happen that way. This is the same thing with business. Now, the reason why I say sports prepared me for this aspect of business, referring to next play mentality and even next game mentality, is because in business, like life, obviously you're gonna have ups and downs. Now, these ups and downs largely are gonna be determined, or how we handle these ups and downs are largely gonna be determined by our mindset and whether or not we embrace this next play mentality. We can have a high where, we feel like, we made it. And what do a lot of people do? They get content, they get complacent, get comfortable, and then tend to slack off. And then you put yourself in a position to naturally have a low. You can be in a low point. And sometimes our mentality, it can pile on, it can snowball. It can create more and more problems. Now you start to develop these negative thoughts in your mind. And now that one bad play turned into a bad series. Now you got a bad attitude. Now you're impacting the rest of your team in a significantly greater negative way than it was by just that one play. This is the same thing when it comes to business. You have a low, so what? Next play. Next play. Whether it's good or bad, we're on to the next play. We learn what we did from the last play. We learn what we did from the last series. We learn what we did from the last game, and we move on with excitement and intention to the next play. All right, so when we're thinking about business, especially for a lot of our young kids, it doesn't matter if you think that your kid is going to be the next LeBron James, or if they may not even touch the field. It's important, in my opinion, for kids to play as many different sports, as much of their time as possible. They can be playing sports and competing. That is a competitive environment where there's going to be people watching, where there's going to be a lot on the line, where everybody's going to be talking about it in school the next day, the next week. That's what comes along with business, and that's what helps shapes our character in a lot of different ways that we may not see when we're in it, how impactful it's going to be later on for us in life. And parents may not see that as well. So I guess my suggestion, just based on me thinking back to my experience, is to always compete and to set our kids up to be very competitive at a young age. And maybe the thing that I need to incorporate is to be more competitive and maybe play in some of these, maybe I need to play in a over 35 league or over 30 league or something, just to keep those competitive juices flowing, not just in business, but also in sports. I think it also impacts, we're gonna go a little bit to a different direction, but I think it also obviously helps with our physical health, but our overall wellness, including our mental health as well. But just focus on the business aspect. It's important. We learn about ourselves when we put ourselves in positions to compete where there's a lot at stake. Now, when we're kids, we're not working jobs, so therefore there's not a lot at stake, when we're just going and learning about business school. However, when we're competing, I don't care whether it's PRCA, whether it's Pee Wee football, whether it's YMCA sports, up until high school, it doesn't matter. There's a lot on the line. You just look at a competitive kid after they lose a game, and you tell me that there wasn't a lot on the line. And you look at a competitive kid who wins a game, who wins that PRCA championship, that summer camp championship. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot of excitement that comes with it. And when there's a lot on the line, that's when we learn our most valuable lessons. And that's what's going to shape our character, so that moving forward in life, we'll always be able to lean on to those skills that we developed in those competitive sports environments when we're younger, in order to be successful in life as we move forward in our business ventures or really any area of our lives. So just wanted to share that with y'all. Sorry to be long-winded, but I thought it was important. The best business skills are going to be developed in the most competitive environments. And growing up, a lot of times our most competitive environments are on the sports field. That's where we're going to learn a lot about ourselves, and we're going to develop in certain areas that are necessary for us to be successful in life. So with that, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.